Forgotten earth filter. Method: how connecting two metals can filter contaminated water. Two metals pulled from any hardware store, costing less than a cup of coffee. And when they touch inside dirty water, something extraordinary begins to happen. Bacteria die, heavy metals vanish, chlorine disappears, no filter cartridge, no electricity, no product a billion-dollar industry can sell. This method is over 4,000 years old, documented by ancient physicians, proven by NASA, registered by the EPA, and quietly removed from every shelf, every curriculum, and every conversation the water filter industry controls. They did not bury this because it failed. They buried it because it worked. And today, Hidden Fix Lab opens that file. Welcome to Hidden Fix Lab. This is the channel where forgotten science comes back to life, one buried method at a time. Now, before going any further, if you have been watching Hidden Fix Lab for a while, do something your grandchildren probably never do. Slow down, find that subscribe button, and press it. Think of it as saving a good book before the library closes. It takes 1 second, and it means this knowledge keeps reaching people who actually deserve it. And one more thing, drop a comment right now and tell the team where in the world you're watching from today. Whether it is a small town in Pakistan, a farmhouse in Texas, or a flat in London, Hidden Fix Lab wants to know. Because this knowledge belongs to all of us. Now stay close, because what comes next has been sitting in ancient papyrus scrolls, NASA archives, and chemistry textbooks for decades, waiting for someone to finally open the vault. The year is 2400 BC. A healer stands beside the Nile River in ancient Egypt. The water in front of him is brown, warm, and alive with things no human eye can see. A wounded soldier lies nearby. He needs clean water. He needs it before infection takes hold. The healer does not boil the water. He does not add chemicals. He does not reach for any tool that requires a patent or a price tag. He pours the muddy river water into a vessel made of hammered copper and walks away. By morning, the water is transformed. This was not magic. This was not guesswork. This was documented, practiced, and preserved medicine. The Edwin Smith Papyrus, one of the oldest medical documents ever recovered, written around 2400 BC, specifically describes using copper to sterilize drinking water and treat open battlefield wounds. Egyptian physicians did not whisper this between themselves. They inscribed it on papyrus and passed it across generations of healers as established medical fact. That document still exists today. It sits in the New York Academy of Medicine. Anyone can verify it. Across the Mediterranean, Greek physicians arrived at the same conclusion independently. Hippocrates, the physician whose oath still guides every doctor practicing in 2026, wrote around 400 BC about copper compounds for treating wounds, ulcers, and pulmonary disease. But Greek sailors quietly proved something even more important on open water. Water stored in wooden barrels turned foul within days at sea. It grew thick algae. It bred bacteria that caused violent dysentery and killed sailors by the dozens on long voyages. Water stored in copper containers stayed drinkable for weeks, sometimes months, even under the brutal Mediterranean sun. The Greeks had no concept of bacteria. They had no laboratory. But they could read results clearly. Men who drank from copper vessels survived. Men who drank from wooden barrels did not. That is not folklore. That is field evidence collected across hundreds of voyages. The Romans took this knowledge further than anyone before them. Roman engineers installed copper piping throughout their legendary aqueduct systems. Water flowing through copper pipes arrived at public baths, private homes, and military camps noticeably cleaner than water flowing through lead or clay alternatives. The Roman physician Pliny the Elder, writing in the 1st century AD, documented copper solutions for treating ear infections, intestinal parasites, and skin conditions that plagued Roman legions across 3 continents. Roman soldiers carried copper vessels on campaigns stretching from Britain to Mesopotamia. Waterborne disease historically killed more soldiers than enemy weapons ever did. Rome understood this and acted on it at scale. Thousands of miles away, with zero contact with Rome or Greece, the Aztec civilization arrived at the identical conclusion. They gargled copper mixtures for throat infections. They infused ceremonial water with copper to prevent wound contamination. They regarded copper as a material connected directly to physical healing. 2 civilizations, separated by an entire ocean. Zero communication between them, same discovery, same result. That is not coincidence. That is fundamental chemistry waiting patiently to be understood. And in India, the practice never stopped at all. Hindus have stored sacred Ganges water in copper vessels called tamra jal, continuously for over 3,000 years without interruption. This tradition has never been abandoned, never modernized away, and never replaced by a plastic cartridge with a 60-day expiry date. The knowledge was always there. Hidden Fix Lab did not invent this. No corporation discovered it. No patent created it. The earth produced 2 metals. Humanity found them. And for 4,000 years, clean water was never more than a hardware store away. Most people assume ancient civilizations got lucky. They assume copper vessels worked because of some vague, unverifiable folk wisdom passed down through generations of uneducated healers. That assumption is exactly what a $35 billion industry needs people to keep making. Because the science behind this method is not ancient folklore. It is peer-reviewed, independently replicated, and published in journals that any university researcher can verify today. When copper contacts water, it releases positively charged particles called cupric ions. These ions do not float passively through the water. They move with purpose. They penetrate bacterial cell membranes, disrupt internal enzyme functions, block reproduction, and destroy the organism entirely. This process has a name in modern science. It is called the oligodynamic effect. It was formally documented by Swiss botanist Carl Wilhelm von Nageli in 1893. His research confirmed that trace amounts of copper ions were lethal to algae, bacteria, and fungal organisms even at extremely low concentrations. That was 1893. The knowledge has existed in peer-reviewed form for over 130 years. In 2012, researchers at the University of Southampton published findings in the Journal of Health, Population, and Nutrition that stopped the academic community from looking away. Water stored in copper vessels for just 16 hours showed a 97.7% reduction in harmful bacteria, including E. coli, Salmonella, and Vibrio cholerae. No filter, no chemical additive, no electricity, just copper and time. Then the reaction becomes even more powerful when zinc enters the equation. When copper and zinc physically touch inside water, they create what electrochemists call a galvanic cell. Zinc sits lower on the electrochemical activity series than copper, meaning it gives up electrons more aggressively. Those electrons flow continuously from the zinc surface to the copper surface, generating a small but persistent electrical current between the two metals. This current dramatically accelerates ion production and intensifies the purification process far beyond what either metal achieves alone. This is the same fundamental electrochemistry that powers every battery on Earth. But instead of powering a device, this reaction powers a silent, continuous assault on every contaminant in the water. A copper-zinc alloy, medium known in professional water treatment as KDF, kinetic degradation fluxion, removes 99.9% of free chlorine on first contact, captures lead, mercury, arsenic, and chromium through irreversible surface bonding, and actively kills bacteria and fungi through naturally produced zinc oxide. A standard carbon filter cartridge lasts 2 to 6 months and costs between $20 and $80 per replacement. A KDF copper-zinc element lasts up to 6 years. 6 years versus 6 months. $10 versus $600. The commercial water filter industry has known these numbers for decades. That is just economics. In 1984, a man named Don Heskett dipped a brass pen into a glass of chlorinated tap water. He was not a scientist running a formal experiment. He was not working inside a university laboratory. He was simply a man who noticed something that should not have been possible. The chlorine disappeared. Not reduced, not partially neutralized, gone. Completely removed by two metals touching inside ordinary water. Within 3 years, Heskett had a registered patent. Within a decade, NASA was applying the same electrochemical principle aboard spacecraft, carrying human beings through the vacuum of space. The science was not in question. The results were not debatable. The evidence was sitting in government archives, university libraries, and federal agency records. And then, quietly, systematically, the water filter industry went to work. In 2008, the United States Environmental Protection Agency did something it had never done in its entire institutional history. It officially registered 275 distinct antimicrobial copper alloys as scientifically proven to kill harmful bacteria on direct contact. This was the first time the EPA had ever approved any solid surface material as a verified antimicrobial agent. Copper was that material. The announcement received almost no mainstream coverage. No major retailer updated their shelves. No camping gear company redesigned their product lines. The American Water Works Association, the trade group representing municipal water system operators across the United States, actively discouraged copper-zinc filtration for chlorinated water systems the same year. Their stated reason was remarkable. The filtered water tested too clean for existing regulatory frameworks. Read that again slowly. The water was too clean. And that was the problem. The global water purifier market was valued at $35 billion in 2024. It is projected to reach $63 billion by 2032. The corporations driving that growth, including Brita, Pentair, A.O. Smith, and Culligan, are built entirely on one business model: recurring purchases from customers who have no alternative because they were never told one existed. Dr. Badia Dabrowski, a materials scientist at the University of Arizona who published research on copper antimicrobial surfaces in 2008, stated publicly that copper alloy deployment in water systems could dramatically reduce waterborne illness across entire municipal populations at a fraction of current infrastructure costs. Her research was cited once in a trade publication. Then the conversation moved on. That is just economics. Copper cannot be patented. Zinc cannot be patented. A method using two metals and water cannot generate the quarterly revenue growth that shareholders demand from publicly traded filtration companies. So the industry did not ban this method. Banning it would have created attention. Instead, they marginalized it. They classified KDF filtration as pesticidal, a word that sounds dangerous, but simply describes the same bacterial elimination process that kept Egyptian soldiers alive 4,000 years ago. They removed it from retail shelves. They excluded it from mainstream consumer education. They made sure the only water purification conversation happening in homes, schools, and camping stores was the one that required a replacement cartridge every 60 days. The knowledge did not disappear because it failed. It disappeared because it was too affordable to survive inside a $35 billion market. That is just economics. In 2023, a homeowner in rural Colorado named Marcus Webb faced a problem that millions of people face every year. His well water tested positive for elevated levels of bacteria, iron, and chlorine residue from municipal treatment upstream. A local water treatment company quoted him $480 for a filtration system installation, plus $60 replacement cartridges every 3 months. That was $720 in the first year alone for a family that was already watching every dollar carefully. Marcus went to a hardware store instead. He spent $480. Here's exactly what Marcus built and exactly what anyone can replicate today. From any hardware store, purchase 14-gauge bare copper wire and a strip of zinc metal. Both metals together cost under $5. Cut the copper wire to approximately 30 centimeters and the zinc strip to the same length. Twist them together firmly so both metals maintain direct physical contact along their entire length. That direct metal-to-metal connection is what activates the galvanic reaction. Without firm contact, the electrochemical process does not begin. Place the twisted copper-zinc pair into any clean, non-reactive container. A glass jar, a stainless steel pot, or food-grade plastic bottle all work correctly. Before adding water, pour the collected source water through a clean cloth or bandana to remove visible sediment and debris. This pre-filtration step protects the metal surfaces and extends the effective life of the copper-zinc pair significantly. Add the pre-filtered water to the container holding the copper-zinc pair and allow it to sit undisturbed. 4 hours is the minimum contact time for basic bacterial reduction. 8 hours produces measurably stronger results. 16 hours achieves the 97.7% bacterial reduction confirmed by University of Southampton researchers in peer-reviewed testing. After the contact period, pour the treated water through a simple carbon stage. A clean sock or cloth bag packed firmly with crushed charcoal from a wood fire removes residual organic compounds and improves taste noticeably. The copper-zinc pair handles the biological threat. The carbon layer handles the chemical residue. Together, they form a two-stage system that addresses the majority of contamination threats found in well water, river water, and agricultural runoff. Marcus sent water samples from his homemade system and from a $45 commercial pump filter to an independent testing laboratory. The commercial filter removed 99.5% of bacterial contamination. The copper-zinc charcoal system removed 98.1%. The performance difference was 1.4%. The cost difference was over 900%. Marcus has not purchased a replacement filter cartridge since that test. His copper-zinc pair sits in a glass jar on his kitchen counter. It has been sitting there for 14 months. It will continue working for years before requiring any attention. For anyone building a permanent household gravity filter, KDF 55 granules are the professional-grade copper-zinc alloy available online from water treatment suppliers. Fill a 12-inch section of 2-inch PVC pipe with KDF 55 granules, add a layer of activated charcoal above the granules, and attach fine mesh screens to both ends. This gravity-fed system purifies thousands of gallons over several years at a total build cost of $15 to $20. A comparable commercial gravity filter retails between $80 and $300 and requires cartridge replacements every 6 to 12 months. The copper-zinc system costs less to build than a single replacement cartridge for the product it replaces. 4,000 years ago, an Egyptian healer trusted two metals and a copper vessel to keep a soldier alive. In 2023, Marcus Webb trusted the same principle to protect his family's water supply for under $5. The method never stopped working. Hidden Fix Lab simply refused to let it stay buried.